Hello and welcome back to Let's Try. We're trying a game called Undernauts Labyrinth of the Yomi. Labyrinth of Yomi? I really wish some of these games would have better titles. I'll tell you, that's probably my least favorite thing about this game. But it's a good game. I wouldn't be showing you otherwise. I've been playing this game in my off time for probably about 5 to 6 hours. It is a very large game. I suspect I will not be done with it anytime soon. But this is a dungeon crawler from Japan, and I understand that Japan was like greatly influenced by wizardry, which I haven't played. I plan on playing it one day, but if you haven't played Wizardry, it is a dungeon crawler, kind of like Eye of Beholder, or Eye of the Beholder. But it's a kind of puzzly, but as I understand it, kind of grindy as well, a bit more of an RPG than maybe Eye of the Beholder. Eye of the Beholder was very, very puzzly. So I guess they kind of, the dungeon delving, dungeon crawling genre split or forked a little bit. This one's a bit more based on wizardry, and then, games like Legend of Grimrock followed more in the footsteps of the Eye of the Beholder. That is my very outsider perspective. I am not very versed in a lot of this stuff, despite enjoying the dungeon crawling genre. But anyway, we're going to be looking at Undernauts A Labyrinth of Yomi. It's a good game. I've been really enjoying this game. We're just going to depart. I'll get into some of the nitty-gritty mechanics in a moment, but let's just jump right into the dungeon crawling aspect. So we are a group of adventurers, you could call them that, Undernauts, and this universe is a bit more horror based. It's a bit more, it's modern. For instance, it's not like super fantasy, although you do find a lot of creepy crawlies that remind you more of fantasy, or like kobolds, or gremlins. But it's a genre blend, to say the least. It reminds me more, honestly, of like the Limbus Company lads. What was that? Library of Ruina. It almost has like a Korean vibe, but this will probably feel fairly familiar for a lot of people. But I'll get into the mechanics of combat. It feels kind of intimidating at first, but it's actually not bad at all. In fact, there's quite a lot of quality of life in this game that I really appreciate. But we can do, a basic attack. I have an arrangement here of some frontline people and some backline people. I've got, this person here. I say this person, the person who's like highlighted second to the left, is our vanguard, and she can protect either the frontline people or the backline people. She also has some pretty hefty attacks, but she's mostly my tank. We have this, I don't actually know what her role is, but she's a sword specialist, and she has some really high damage abilities, so she ends up kind of being my DPS. I'm just doing basic attacks now while I go through these. Then I have my archer, who can shoot from the back. The 3 characters on the left are in the front line, and then the 3 characters on the right are in the back line. So they have to have weapons that reach, or ranged weapons, in order to actually reach the enemies. So she's got, a special, or skills that can actually reach enemies from the back, but also she can just, basic attack. Then we have a mage. He's actually like my chief. He's the first character I made, so he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got a lot of kind of rock, paper, scissors spells, like, you'll see at the bottom there. This is a fire spell, good against earth, weak against water. High water spell, strong against fire, weak against lightning. So he has a huge variety of utility spells that do damage based on who they're attacking. Then they've got a buff, and they've also got a debuff. So that's them in a nutshell. I usually go with pyrokinesis as a basis, and then I have my cleric, who has a party heal, a main heal, and then a basic attack. She also has a buff. I'll actually always forget, you can cast spells or use skills outside of combat. This one, you'll see at the bottom there, says lasts until return to base. So I want to cast the spell right away. Sucks that I'm doing it in combat, but it really doesn't matter because I'm facing room 1, floor 1 dudes that like I can kill in basically one attack. So there's that that party-wide buff that will last until I come back to camp. And you know, that's the basics of combat. Then we get a treasure. The treasure, like, I don't know how to call it. Risk of treasure is kind of interesting. You'll see it has. I'm disarming it right now. I have 100% chance of disarming it. The reason I have 100% chance of disarming it is actually based on my MP, so how much mana that my party has. So as I spend my resources, as I am worn down by the dungeon, these traps will become more and more risky. And in fact, they won't just have the one trap, they'll have many traps that will, with a percentage chance of like, oh, it could be 20%, could be 60%, who knows. I usually go with the highest percentage, and I generally speak, I think I've failed once and it wasn't a big deal. Then we get some treasure. We got some treasure. I largely don't care about the treasure right now. We'll talk about why later. I do have an auto move, or kind of a semi-fast travel, which is a quality of life. I'm not using it right now because I guess I just want to kind of show off, you know, the actual dungeon crawling aspect of this game without overwhelming you. Then we have, okay, well, I'm not going to do this. This guy has his own special treasure. Yes, he is a mimic, but no, he does not attack you. He has his own special kind of treasure dungeon that you can visit and try and, you know, reap the rewards of. There's a lot of like little microcosm mechanics that are pretty interesting. So I'm just trying to remember here, which way I'm going. So this way, the map is actually really good. So I can use RB and LB to change floors, and then my cursor will stay in the same place, so I can pretty easily navigate. So I'm currently on that second ladder. This is currently the place I'm kind of poking out at. And I'll show off the auto move really quickly. It's as simple as that. You can click on any tile and then your party will auto move. It is not instantaneous, and I think that's actually a good thing for the most part, because it means that it takes care, like it shows you the actual process of you getting there, but also it means that you're still going to get these kind of random encounters. You don't just have the ones that are like pre-placed, you have random encounters as well. So let me see. Okay, I don't want to do the wide swing. I might do a frenzied swing because this is a consecutive attacks. So that's a magic ability. So everyone's got mana, and we want to manage our mana. Then we also have boosts, and I think the boosts are actually really interesting. They're not they're not super complex by any means, but they're just a little interesting twist on the combat that I really appreciate. So we have 3 different boosts. We have overcharge, we have duracharge, and then we have neurocharge. Then we have recharge. So I guess we technically have 4, but the 4th one, the recharge, just takes a turn to recover one of our boosts. So once you use one, it's gone until you recharge it. There's a little bit of nuance there, but I won't get into that just yet. So if I want to use overcharge, for instance, I just have to leave it on overcharge when I've finished using all my turns. So I'm going to go ahead and use everyone's skill. And the reason I'm using everyone's skill is you might notice on the right side there's 0 cost. Which basically the overcharge means that everyone does a little bit more damage from using their spells, but also there's 0 cost, which is quite nice. Also, I should actually, I don't think I've encountered these guys before, so I want to pay attention here. So this is in fact an earth monster, and yep, so pyrokinesis is still the thing to use. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll use ray of light as well. And if you kill a monster, like if one of my dudes kills a monster, then the next one will just like attack a different one. You don't have to worry too much about optimizing that. We'll do a normal battle. I can do fast battle, but like I actually kind of like to see things play out and see what I'm doing right and wrong. Okay. And so you might have seen that flash of light after I finished like confirming everything. That's just confirming that I used my overcharge boost. So everyone's doing their special attacks and doing, more damage and not using their MP. So here's a little bit of the nuance of the boosts. Now I only have 2 boosts left. If I was to use Duracharge means that everyone takes less damage. They have a lot more resistance to taking damage. But the problem then is I then have 2 boosts, like, kind of in the can. They've both been used. And Recharge only recovers 1 boost at a time. I believe it recovers the boosts in the order that you use them. So it would recover Overcharge first and then Duracharge. I might be wrong about that, but the reason I am not sure is it's never really mattered too much. Unless you're basically fighting a boss, and there are bosses in this game, and yes, they are pretty challenging. So let's go ahead and use, well, actually, I've told you what Duracharge is. It's the resistance one. It's defense. The interesting one is actually Neurocharge. So Neurocharge, it has a couple of quirks, but the main thing is that it's the one you want to use when you're sure that you can win. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually not going to press anything. I'm going to press Y or triangle on my controller and then do a normal attack. So no one's going to use any special attacks here. And it's a little quality of life feature that I really appreciate. So I've used Neurocharge because I'm sure that I'm going to win this combat in this turn. And I was correct. I'm usually correct. I'm actually pretty good about predicting that one. And Neurocharge is basically going to ensure we get a little bit more reward for having completed the battle. We got a few extra treasures. If there was a treasure chest, we would have gotten a few more treasures. And so it's the kind of risk reward of like, I want to, I think I can win, and I want to get a bit more treasure, but it doesn't actually assist in battle very much. So I like that. I think it's an interesting quirk, and it definitely has me kind of guessing. Ooh, we've got some undead. All right, let's do another overcharge, and we'll do frenzied swing. And it leaves, like, you'll notice that everyone's defaulted to the last skill that you used. So if you like that arrangement, you can continue using that. And that's why I like that quality of life of, like, using the auto attack of, like, everyone just do a normal attack. So you can kind of switch between the two very, very easily and seamlessly. Let's do a fast battle just to see how fast that is, because I do like to also highlight the quality of life in this game, in any game. This game very clearly has, like, deep influences in the dungeon crawling genre, but also knows very well the kind of the grind of a dungeon crawler and also of an RPG, and has really good automation tools to quicken up the grind. And I really, really appreciate that, actually. So I've set it to Neurocharge. I'm actually just going to do a normal attack. I think the only thing I would like to see is when I use that auto button, I can also have fast attack as an option, like fast animations. Oh, I misread the situation. So now if I wanted to use Neurocharge, I would have to wait for it to recharge. That's fine. Let's just use Duracharge and then normal attack. There's absolutely no reason not to use your boost, by the way. They recover, like, at the start of each battle. So they're there to use. Okay, so we've got a little thing at the top here. That's kind of like our beeper. The exchange rate in the Argon marketplace is 1051 yen per unit of Argon. Prices spiked briefly to 1090 yen, but have since been corrected. There's a weird metagame there that you can play with, but I haven't really bothered. But yes, Argon is, like, the reason we're down here, basically. There's a lot of story involving Yomi, or the Labyrinth of Yomi, the place that we're in. And, like, people come from far. It's kind of like the zone from Stalker, if you're aware of that. It's this weird, terrible place, lots of weird events happening there, monsters killing people, lots of death, lots of misery, and and woe. However, there's also money to be made. So people come from far and wide to become an Undernaut so that they can reap the rewards and maybe actually afford a house, because, you know, we live in a society. So I wanted to highlight this. This is one of my one of the things that really kind of drew me in and elevated this genre to me. This may be in other games as well, but I just really like this mechanic. One of the major mechanics of this game are Yomi flowers. So let's get into Yomi flowers. So I have a couple of Yomi flowers. One of those returns me to the base, and believe it or not, this is not given to you right away. You have to earn this. You have to fight your first boss, which is no joke, no slouch at all, before you get something that lets you return to base, and it is infinite use. So this is like honestly a big deal when you get this, because it really quickens your return to base. But also at that point, you're going to be, you know, poking out far enough away from your main base that it is going to mean more to you. Then we have monster flowers. Monster flowers let you place a permanent monster spawn, and it is actually raised slightly in level past the point of where you place it. So I don't know how to explain it better than that, but basically it lets you put a grind spot. In fact, when they give you this, they almost literally tell you when you want to grind up your characters a bit, this is the tool to use. You put this in a place where you think you're capable of fighting the monsters at a slightly increased level. You get a bit more reward, and you know, higher risk, higher reward kind of thing. I haven't used this too much, but that's because I've mostly been able to progress via playing the game and not so much having to like stop and grind. I've done a little bit, but mostly I haven't needed to. Then we have ladder flowers. In fact, you've already seen me use one of these. The ladder I used to get to this level was one that I had placed. And when I say place, this is what I'm talking about. Here's the door flower. There's basically hidden around the entire dungeon places where you can use door flowers, ladder flowers, and you have to seek them out. They're hidden. Some of them are really hidden. It does kind of become a game of like, you know, bump into every wall a little bit, but the game is very good about telegraphing when you are most likely going to be using those flowers. So we have a corpse of what looks like a creature lies here. Mingled in its skeletal remains is a piece of parchment. Garbled note. I know exactly what that is. Let's go ahead and look at that. This is going to conveniently let me talk about puzzle solving in this game, which there is some. Correct path, no hurt. Poison times 1 equals east. Poison times 2 equals west. Poison times 3 equals south. Poison times 4 equals north. So right now on this floor, I have dragon tanks. And yes, they are literally dragon torsos with heads on top of tank treads. It's hilarious, but I kind of love it. And they're all some kind of weird mechanical thing to do with the dungeon, and I have to disarm them. They can be disarmed by these, like, basically passwords. So it says, you know, once the stop spell is equal to the mechanical dragon number plus 1000. And then this one is stop spell equals mechanical dragon number plus 731. So I have to figure out which passwords those align with. And in fact, I also have to beat the dragon. They're kind of like no joke bosses as well. I have to beat the dragon and then use the spell to disarm them completely. And so this is like currently my current puzzle challenge, as well as like combat challenge for the floor. So right now I'm just kind of information gathering, trying to figure out which passwords go to which dragons. And there's a trap on the floor. I saw it and I just wanted to see, like, figure out, like, is that something? What is that? I like to experiment. It's the best way to learn, you know? We'll do another combat. The different colors of those monster icons, by the way, do mean something. They told me, and I've since forgotten. I think they're all more or less the same. One of them, I think the green ones maybe have more treasure. The red ones vary slightly, but there might be more challenging. I don't know. but I don't think it matters too much. It's a monster that you have to fight. The only one I do know is that there are blue ones those are the monster flowers that you've placed. So you probably won't see any of those. Let's actually do an overcharge so I can continue using my best attacks. Are these guys? Yeah, they're earth. Okay. We'll do a fast battle. Okay. Could have used a neurocharge. Doesn't matter. If I used a neurocharge, then I probably wouldn't have used my skill, because then I'd be wasting MP. We'll talk a little bit about equipment in a sec. Pretty soon, actually, because I could spend a long time exploring the current floor. A long time. Like I'm pretty well like stocked up at this point where I could, explore for a while. This is an interesting dead end. Haven't seen that. The reason I'm poking out is that there's yet flowers that I do not have, and one of those is clearly to me a bridge flower, and so I like to poke out into these like pits just to find out if they are going to require a flower that I don't have yet. Okay. You might have noticed that I step onto every tile, even if there's nothing there. This sucks. Wow. There's not even a place to use a door flower there. There's no benefit as far as I can tell, but I do like to fill out the map and map out completely the area. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't there's I just got a parchment that was telling me poison to the north, poison to the south, something like that. Let's have a quick look at that. Maybe it'll jar my memory. Poison ×1 to the east, poison ×2 to the west. Okay, so I might have to step in poison a certain number of times. Interesting. But there's more than one poison to the east. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But I've got something going on there. Just like to make sure there's no secret walls there. All right. Should probably have healed up. That's okay. I'm just gonna go through this. Yeah, I do kind of a smooth brain this a little bit, but I'm just fighting normal dudes, so it doesn't matter too much. So I didn't even progress very much. Are these guys? Oh, they don't have an element. That's interesting. Let's do Helm Splitter. Actually, I guess I should do a normal attack. My archer is actually pretty good about attacking a lot of things at once. I've equipped these all of these as characters as best as I can. I'm hoping one of our characters levels up so I can maybe show that off a bit. So what do we got? Neurocharge. We just have neurocharge. I'm not ready to use that, so we'll do a recharge. And we can use abilities. There's no reason to conserve mana that much. I'll use a multi-medi that's going to heal everyone up a little bit. Good attacks. Oh wow, 3 of them. Okay, everyone got healed up a little bit. All right, so we definitely we can be pretty sure that we'll use our neurocharge here. We'll just do a normal attack. Perfect. So we got 3,300 experience, got some AG. Again, that's the currency. So Reno-san leveled up. So we'll talk a little bit about attribute points here. It shows it pretty accurately at the bottom there. Affects physical attack, affects magic attack and MP, affects healing magic and max MP, affects physical defense and max MP or HP. Affects that is accuracy and evasion and turn order. And then affects many parameters, accuracy, evasion, criticals, loot drops, and more. I don't generally level up luck too much. It's usually pretty obvious which characters like what. In fact, even when you're building characters, and by the way, there's a lot of characters available right away. So I've only picked 6 from a pool of like a lot. Like there's a lot of flexibility in how you play this game. You could build a lot of different characters. There's a lot of variety. In fact, there's nothing stopping me from doing that already. I could go and make some new characters and swap them into my team and try and grind them up a bit. I'm kind of hoping that the game doesn't force me to do that for the sake of like certain monsters need certain characters to defeat. I kind of hope I can just keep rolling with the 6 that I have. But it is an option. It is something that you can do. So clearly this character likes strength and speed. It's also a good idea to level up con because that is going to be their resistance and health. But for the most part, con and speed are the 2 that like every character can make use of. And then everyone will specialize either strength, int, or whiz. That's pretty par for the course, I think. I think I've been trying to go for speed with this one because I like everyone's turn order to be ahead of the monsters for, you know, optimal reasons. I'm just gonna go with strength for now. They get a little bit of everything. We get a treasure. Ooh, that's some there's some good stuff there. All right, so let's we'll poke out a little bit more. We've got some more. Ooh. Okay, interesting. I think we could probably defeat this guy right away. The floor is like poison, so there's definitely something going on there. Let's do a power swing. The wide swing is only if there's like many enemies on the floor. Let's just do a fast battle. Wow. Instantly dead. Okay, so there's definitely something going on here. Not sure what. We'll have to take a little bit of damage, unfortunately. Wow, dead end, okay. Dead end that we have to hit. Another dead end. Interesting. All right, let's skills use. Oh yeah, these are. We'll let you fight more monsters if you want, and then we can use our healing spell. Okay. Let's just make sure that there's no secret walls here. They don't do that often. They really don't, but I'm paranoid, so there's definitely. Oh, there's not one here. Usually there's also, you can investigate. Wow, nothing here, huh? That's really interesting. All right, let's fight this. This is going to be some extra treasure. We were ambushed. Okay, that means they get to attack us first. They attacked my highest defense characters, so they take 0 damage. Ah, no. Bummer. Okay. They changed formation. That's interesting. I haven't seen that too often. Let's do an overcharge so that we don't use up our mana. Might honestly win. Yep. Okay. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. So I don't know what we got going on. We got more poison going on over here and more of these doors. I think that note was supposed to tell me how to progress here without taking every single damage. So I don't know. What do we got going on here? First, it's west. Let's have a look at that note. 1 poison east, 2 poison west, 3 poison south, 4 poison north. Okay, so east, west, south, north. Which way is our cardinal directions? I would assume it's just the way it looks, but this doesn't make sense because first it's west, then it's south, then it's, well, now we're on the third poison. We don't know. I'm assuming that's what I'm supposed to be reading into this. I might not be correct about that. Well, there is this. There's 2 poison on that first floor, on that first chamber. Then there's 3 poison. And this time there are 4 poison. So what is 4 poison? 4 poison is go north. Okay, let's try north then. Oh, okay. So it might be that that's just like, if I wanted to do this without taking a lot of damage, then I could. It's not a big deal, but you know, I guess it does save us a little bit of mana. Let's just do a fast battle. And then I'm going to do a neurocharge because there's a pretty good chance. I didn't mean to do repeat action. That means we used up a little bit of MP. That's fine. We might still not kill them all. These guys are actually fairly tanky. Wow, okay. So I misjudged that for sure. Let's just do a normal attack. So yes, I should say that character speed actually dictates when they go in the turn order. So I've been trying to give speed to my healer so that she can like heal people right away, but even then you can kind of like predict who's going to go first. So like for instance, my archer has the highest speed because it dictates how easily she's going to be able to hit people with her arrows. So she'll end up being someone who like uses items for restorative properties, because it means that I might actually survive another volley of attacks. Door flower, okay, interesting. They don't generally give too many of those to me. So we've got 3 poison here. Didn't we already have a 3 poison one? That's interesting. I didn't mean to do that. Listen, I'm just gonna guess. It's fine. Oh, interesting. Oh, you know what? They just gave me a door flower, didn't they? To use. Also, I should cover this as well. I can learn new skills. Everyone's got their specialization skills. You can also promote classes, something I haven't done yet. Like everyone's got like a new class they can level up to. So I'm not sure what that does yet. I think I can't remember what I was trying to do. So some of these are passive and some of these are active. The active ones are obviously skills that they can use. So this is another active one. I haven't taken that skill yet. Rapid Barrage. Then this passive one is like pretty good. May protect rearguard allies from attacks. So in theory, that's been helping my cleric from taking less attacks. You know, why you want to have a tank is so that they take attacks. Increase accuracy and damage against all enemy types. It's pretty good, but it's an active. I'm not sure how long it lasts. It usually tells you. So if it doesn't tell you, I'm assuming it only lasts like maybe a turn. Or maybe it just doesn't tell me here. This is Yukiko. Oh, okay. This is my like swordsman. Swords person. Gamma ray. Magical attack that can instant kill one foe. This sounds good, but you know how these attacks always work, right? You can only use them against enemies that just, it doesn't matter. So I didn't take this out of like pure, just like cynicism. I should probably level up her multi-medi so that heals for more. But that does mean that the cost goes up. That's fine. I also really like, I guess I already leveled up Enduring Adroitness. Anyway. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is a door. See, that's what I meant, is like, they're pretty good about telegraphing when these doors are going to be a thing. I really, like, I probably am undermining the game's design a little bit by bumping every wall. But then again, you just never know, do you? You just can't know. A monster flower, huh? Got a... There's four poison here again. I wonder if that means go north again. Let's see. Okay, hold on. In that last one, there was three. Three poison, I mean. And indeed, I did end up going south. Okay, so I think we're going to have to go north. And then there's going to be another, yep. Another door here. Okay. Got ourselves some goodies. Ooh, strength boost is actually pretty good. We got some more goodies. I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to go this way. I'm thinking, yeah, there's going to be a door. Unfortunately, I don't have a flower that lets me go through here. There is one that lets you unlock doors, but I don't have the means to make it just yet. So this is definitely going to be, this is a shortcut. And I can only open it from this side. So that would have let me fast travel. Oh, no. Ah, this is fine. Oh. Can we keep our distance? Cool. Okay. Sometimes that happens. It's a little weird. You can avoid combat if we so wish. Ah, we have two monsters to talk to. In front of me stands a mouse man with a mohawk. As soon as he notices me, he becomes hostile and readies his weapon. You must be the corrections officer's lackey. I know who you are. You must have come after me, but I won't let myself be killed by the likes of a human. You die. The agitated monster attacks me before I can get a word in edgewise. Okay, that's generally not happened. I wonder if I just defend and like not attack, like Undertale style. If maybe we can turn this guy around, because generally if there's one of those creatures, they don't attack you. And they're meant to give you information. No effect on Great Crest. I'm just going to try this a couple more times. If nothing happens, then I'll just attack. Let's just do a normal attack. It was a nice try. Maybe he'll realize nope, he's just gone. What does it say? The corpse of the mouse man lies on the ground. Okay, that's never happened before. In front of me are creatures with mohawks. The creatures' teeth chatter as their entire bodies shake. Not the children, please spare them. Talk. Please at least spare yeah, we'll spare them. Containment level. Yeah, okay, the children. Did I just kill the child? Is that the deal there? Can you give me a door flower? Not a door flower, the key flower. I forget what they're actually called, the ones that let me unlock. There's gotta be something here. Nothing worthwhile was found. Is there seriously nothing here? Okay, well, that's unfortunate because that means I have to go the long way back. I was kind of hoping that they would give me a flower. Actually, we don't have to go the long way home. We can just use the return flower. And I'm going to take the last few minutes of this video to talk a little bit about what you can do back at base, because there's quite a lot of party management outside of the base. First of all, we've got our administrator. This is where we can get new characters. Let me see here. Character management. We can add new characters. We'll have a quick look at what that looks like. I'll just do like a quick scroll through the variety of characters at hand. There's quite a lot. Apparently there's just like a little bunny rabbit. Massa's pet, mysterious black rabbit, used its extra dimensional power to warp into Yomi and is now the camp mascot. there are a lot of characters. There's almost a mismatch of like styles going on here. My goodness, there's actually more characters than I even realized. I like started to scroll through and I was like, you know what, these 6 seem fine, but there's like, you could make a fighting game out of this game's roster. I can edit them. I actually haven't like looked into doing that. I guess that's just if you want to change their name and stuff like that. I just went with the default names because I'm very unimaginative in that way. Then we can get into job change. We can change their class. I'm not sure why you would want to do that necessarily. And then we can get into promoting, and you can see it'll tell you each of them has their own like sub promotion that they can get into. In fact, I haven't even looked at this. We can see how they will evolve. So once I get into a specialized sorcerer, that you can learn Dark Catastrophe and Pentakinesis. Ranged Barrier, I think, is also new. So there's some interesting things there, but I don't have a promotion Argon, and I don't know how to get one just yet. We can also talk to this guy. He has some little quests that he can give us with some rewards. Then we get to the fusion reactor. This is where we make Yomi. Currently, I can only make 2 Yomi, the door and the ladder. You want to have a few of these on hand. This uses its own special currency, which is the, I guess, flower points. We can get the flower points by taking some of the extra equipment that we have earned from killing monsters and also like treasure and stuff, and destroy them for the, you know, for points. I have a pretty good idea. You also get these, the green items are purely for the sake of crushing into flower points or Argon. And we also get a bunch of extra like items and stuff from completing quests, and you can use those if you want to crush into Argon or flower points. So like, oh, we want to go back. So let's go to items. We can create pretty much whatever we want, but I wouldn't recommend it. You, generally speaking, can find anything that you need at a higher level. So you'll get like a patterned ribbon +3 or whatever, but we can extract Argon from like destroying items. So let's like, I don't know, broken bow. I'm not going to need that. We can see how much we get from that. We get 10. So, you know, whatever. Trench club. I think I already have a better one. Destroy that. Rusted katana. Sure. So you spend a lot of time here just like breaking things down, so that you can upgrade things. So then if we go to our equipment, we can see what everyone's using. I've already supplied everyone with like a weapon that is pretty good and leveled it up as much as possible, except for this one. Apparently I didn't level that one up, so we could level that one up to 5. My limitation is right now +5, but as the, you know, game develops and as you progress, your fusion reactor becomes better, and then you can you get new abilities. So when I was able to, at first I can only make door flowers, and I could only upgrade to level 3. And then I was able, after I defeated a boss, I could make a ladder flower and then upgrade things to level 5. So, you know, that's kind of how things progress there. This is where we store things. This is also where we can potentially leave, but that's like the whole point of the game, so we can't leave yet. That'll be like the ending of the game, hopefully. The actual story beats are we're trying to like kill giant monsters and then use the things that they drop to like power up the reactor. It's, you know, there's a lot of lore that I've been largely ignoring, not super ignoring. If one of our characters dies, we can heal them here for the price of Argon. So you could potentially find yourself in a situation where all of your characters are dead and you don't have enough Argon to like resurrect them, but I haven't really gotten to that point ever. The interface for upgrade, like switching equipment, I think could be a bit better. I almost wish that there was a like optimize button, like give everyone a thing that works for them. But you know, then the game is just kind of playing itself, I suppose. So like, okay, you know, rusted or chainmail seems like it could be better for this character, especially since it's only a +3. So if I give this to her, then I could upgrade it so it has the same defense, if not better. So you spend a lot of time, like I go through every single character between runs if I've gotten a lot of treasure, and like, okay, yes, you do change their underwear. That's a little weird. Can't really explain that one. Not sure why that's a thing, but you know, here we are. Exercising katana might be better. You do get into some of these situations where it's like, is this actually better? I think it might be. Sure. And then we'll go back to the fusion reactor, upgrade this 5 times. There's actually like no reason not to do this. Yeah, it does cost Argon, and yes, Argon is why you're here, and yes, you can, I don't know, exchange Argon for yen in some kind of weird metagame, but I haven't really done it too much. In fact, I don't even know if I can do it. I can talk. Ask the price of your AG. 1 AG for 1,000 yen. No huge handling fee or taxes. It's a great value rate. If you trade with this rate, the Argon you worked hard to gather will be worth 3,962,000 yen. If you really want to get rich quick, you're going to need to work harder than that. But like, I'm not, what's the point? I don't know. It doesn't even seem like an option. It maybe like when we leave, it'll matter, but it hasn't really been an option, obviously. So there's a few quirks. Obviously, there's a few things I haven't fully worked out yet. But I'm really enjoying this game, and I highly encourage you to look at it. Now, here's one thing I haven't mentioned is the price. You're gonna look at this game possibly if it interests you, and you're gonna see that it's like $70. At least it's $70 Canadian. But I definitely picked this game up for like $8 on Fanatical. Is generally a place I will like look for deals and bundles and stuff, and I have seen Undernauts Labyrinth of Yomi bundled in a couple of times there for like $8. I've also seen this game severely discounted. So I'm not usually in the business of letting you know like, hey, this game, you know, wait for a sale. I don't like to do that, but in this case, I know it's really expensive and it's gonna probably be a deal breaker for a few people. But if you are interested in this, I you know, encourage you to check out, have a look for sales and stuff like that, because I know it has been very discounted. But you know, it is worth it. I don't think it's worth $70 personally. I'm enjoying it for like 10. I think I know that there's a lot of work put into this, so I probably would have priced it at like $40 at the most. I know that you know, Legend of Grimrock was priced around that point, and I think it's one of the best dungeon crawlers ever. So you know, that's me, but I'm not going to question the company for pricing the game what they think it's worth. But either way, this has been Undernauts Labyrinth of Yomi. You'll find a link in the description if it interests you at all. There's a lot yet to see in this game, on a lot of I'll be playing this game for a long time, so we'll see. Maybe I'll come back to this if there's any interest in the comments. But if you did enjoy this, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.